David was a spark. He was talented. He was just a good person and somebody that we all felt a connection to. We couldn't understand why someone like this had been taken away from us.
It was so strange and surreal that it was like one minute he was there at all these parties, and then the next thing I knew, I'm waking up and my best friend's gone.
We began to become suspicious because it just didn't seem consistent with how David had interacted with people. He would always share what he was up to. He was very excited about what he was doing.
It was kind of a shock because we weren't sure where he was, what he was doing, why he wasn't returning any of our calls. And when it came around to school beginning and he wasn't there, that's when we kind of realized that something might not be right.
One morning I woke up, 2 guys were at my house.
They were woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning with escorts telling them, they had 5 minutes to leave.
And they were just like, "Hi, Ty, you need to wake up and put clothes on. You're going to a school in the Dominican Republic." And I was like, "I don't think so."
Both my parents were standing there, saying, "We love you, David, we love you." I was like, well, what's going on?
And I was like, that's not gonna happen. How could that happen to me? I'm staying here.
And they're like, "No, you have no choice. You can do this the easy way or the hard way."
They tied a belt around my waist, dragged me with a belt to their car.
We left on Tuesday morning and left the house about 8 o'clock, got here about 11 at night.
We went through the airport, they dragging me with a belt the entire time. Flew down to Miami, and then I finally figured out where we were going.
Jesus is calling each one of us here this morning to follow. We here at Escuela Caribe, we here at New Horizons Youth Ministry will set out a structure and discipline that will help you understand how to live your life, how to restructure and rediscipline this life that is in disarray. But greater than that, each of us sitting here this morning in this congregation can praise God that He has set it out and shown us the way.
So what is Escuela Caribe?
When I have an opportunity to describe Escuela Caribe, I tell them it's a Christian therapeutic residential boarding facility. Now that's a long term for a place where kids that have just been in trouble can come and get their lives straightened out.
My name is Beth, and I have been here for about 4 months.
First name is Ty. I'm 16, and I've been here for a year, a month, and like 17 days.
My name is David, and I've been here for, it'll be 6 weeks on Tuesday. Today is Sunday. My guess is if my parents have it their way, I'll be going home in May or June.
We can take a child just so far, but there's a spiritual aspect that God has to take over, and it's those people that are not Christian will not understand what I'm saying, but those that do know that a spiritual transformation takes place when you do accept Christ. And what you never thought was possible in your life becomes possible.
Tell me more about the founder, Gordon Blossom.
Pastor Gordon Blossom was a juvenile delinquent. Pastor himself was spent a time as a student, as a teenager, in Star Commonwealth, which is a home for boys, residential treatment. And he really felt called to have a place in a foreign third world culture. He believed that was an aspect of the therapy, and it really is. It's called culture shock therapy. Taking a kid outside of the environment that they feel secure in and putting them into another environment where the language is different, the food is different, the whole place is different, is an aspect of the therapy that he felt was very significant.
You take a kid out of their normal environment and you do get control.
Usually by the time a parent gets to this point in their lives, it's got to be pretty bad at home. So by the time they're getting to the point where they feel they need to send their child away for 18 to 24 months, they're usually ready to go at that time.
I got sent here for a couple different reasons. I tend to tell myself that I'm just here for school, except I'm not. I started having panic attacks in October of 2005, and it got to be where I'd have like 3 a day, end up in the hospital for whatever reason, and because of that, I got really frustrated with my school, and like a couple times I would just like leave the school, and they had to call the police to bring me back. And I also tried to kill myself.
When I was like 10, I was raped, and when I was like 11, my mom married without telling me or my brother. I kind of started to not trust my family very much and just separate myself from them a lot and just find ways to let out my anger, like lying and stealing and drugs and a lot of drugs and stuff like that, and just guys.
Basically, I got sent down here because my parents and I didn't get along at all. I am gay, and my parents, they just weren't okay with that. They weren't willing to accept that fact. My mom said something along the lines of, I could never love a gay son. And they were just basically finding any way possible to, you know, fix the problem, change it, and I was just always felt like I was rejected because I've always felt like it was a part of me.
Well, it was like 8 minutes when I sit mine down.
Thanks again for doing this for me.
It sucks, man. Bless this food to our bodies as well as the hands prepared it. Your name we pray. Amen.
May I be seated?
Yeah.
Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world.
Hey, who's that, Mez? I am on a self-harm support, and so I have to eat with a spoon. And at Star House, I couldn't be in the mudroom by myself because there were chemicals, and I can't be in the kitchen either. So I've been on it before, but I'm working to be off of it and stuff. So like when I offer to get people's dishes, if they have a fork, I can't pick it up. I have to ask someone else if they would be willing to take it off the plate for me.
If you feel like you can't help yourself, then we'll help you by taking away the things that could potentially harm you. And that's pretty much what the self-harm support is all about. It still doesn't prevent them from hurting themselves because there's shoelaces, belts, all still in there from every other girl, but yeah.
May I step in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Morning routine. You wake up, you get your supplies, you do your room job, which consists of making your bed, sweeping the floor that you're assigned to, and doing your PA, which is your personal area, where where you keep all your clothes and stuff like that, and making sure everything's inspection ready.
This collar has to be the length of half your pillowcase, like that wide, and then from here to there, that wide. All the corners have to be made with a 45-degree angle. And we can't have anything in our backpacks either.
I've been looking forward to chucking this bed all week. Really? No. Oh, it's on.
Alright.
It's the first time in what, 2 months?
But they should be even. Like the hangers should be like evenly spaced. And like all the buttons should be done up.
So what have you been using as soap?
The bar soap.
Yep.
Buttons on down.
That's what I missed.
Pretty good, Dave. I'll go with the 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. John!
This is gonna kill me right here. That one.
Can you explain the points and level system?
That could be like a 5-hour long explanation. Point sheets are filled out by supervising staff, such as the house father, and it determines the student's rank. It's up to the house father to score the point sheet on a 0, which is rebellion, to 5, which is excellent scale.
Or do you just kind of go over what 0 level restrictions there are?
There's no other way to say it, but the 0 level student, they get treated like, we'll say, 6-year-olds. They have to be told, or they have to ask what we want them to do for everything. 0 levelers are putting so much pain on the house, so much pain on the house staff and just the other students in the house, that a way to kind of show them the amount of pain they're putting on everybody else is to put a little bit of that type of pain on them. They have to get a time in to use the bathroom. They have a certain length of time that they can go. They don't have many special privileges. They do not get any free time whatsoever, so they must be working the entire time. Generally, to get on 3rd or 4th level, you have given in to the ministry and the expectations that we hold students accountable to.
I came here in, when did I come? The summer of 79, and we had a level system at that time. And the basic expectations, responsibilities, and the privileges of the level system have stayed the same. Those have not changed. Children's phone calls are recorded. You wanted to know about the letters as well. The letters are, most parents don't have a, well, none of the parents have had a problem with this. They agree to this. We will monitor the incoming and outgoing mail for a time.
Yeah, maybe you can sweep out? Yes. Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna have to bust out and sweep out. We only have like 5 minutes left.
What else do I miss about home? The ability to sit by a piano or a guitar and sing freely. I miss being able to call up my friends and say I'm having a really hard time right now. Do you want to go talk about it over a cup of coffee at Starbucks? I don't have that anymore. I really miss my dog. I miss the old days, like before my parents ever found out that I was gay.
10 push-ups. Yep, my count, ready? Down, 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down.
The latest session that I was in had to do with me giving out information to Matt. I was really worried about like a lot of my friends back home. I asked him, like, you know, could you make my friends aware so that they know that like I didn't drop off the face of the earth? And I guess they contacted Matt and that like happened, and I got a session. It was the scariest thing in the world because like you go in there, if I touched the door, they were just like 2 push-ups now. They were like, well, you're in big trouble, you know. And I was so scared. My nervous reaction is to go like this a lot. Like I fiddle with my fingers. And Craig, my group leader, was like slapping my hands. She's like, get your hands away. Like, get your hands away. Look at him straight. Tell me what happened. Get your hands away. Like I kept doing that. Like as a nervous reaction, they were just like, stop that. 2 more push-ups. 2 more push-ups. Get your hands away. there's recordings in this room. I'm definitely.
Yeah.
I had to basically come out to my group leader, my teacher, and let my house father know what was going on. It was probably the most humiliating moment for me. Opening up is a really difficult thing to do because I really have to put a face on that isn't me. I have to hide behind that mask again of, oh no, I'm not gay. I have to hide behind the mask of, you know, not being able to express who I am, and it hurts. It hurts a lot.
How do we deal with kids that come down and have homosexual issues or claim to be even bisexual, you know? We really don't even look at that. A lot of our kids have been hurt sexually by people. And so many, as we have gone through counseling, have come to understand that the reason why they have enjoyed the same sex relationships is because they couldn't trust the other sex. The whole issue is, what's the deeper issue? And you have to get to the root. And then they see that, oh, I'm so glad. Many of our kids go, I am so glad that I'm not a homosexual. And I said, but you claimed you were when you came. He said, yes, because the sexual act felt good and I trusted that person. But now I understand that God has given the sexual act, you're supposed to feel in the sexual act. It's just in the wrong context that I was doing it in. So homosexuality, we really don't focus on that.
What kind of punishments have you gotten?
For panic attacks, I've gotten punishments like, usually I would just get 6 units, which is either 6 SWATs, 600 exercises, or 6 hours of work. But I don't usually like SWATs. Usually that's a last resort because I can only take 5 at a time and it's pretty painful.
You have, of course, work, manual labor, exercises, a certain amount of exercises per something that was done wrong. We do have the SWATs, or that is a discipline.
We still use the paddle. We used the paddle 30 years ago. We still give push-ups. We give push-ups 30 years ago. You know, they still run casitas here from the bottom, from the gate to the top.
When they have a 1 or a 0 on their point sheet from the day before, they get, for every 1 they have, they get 1 casita, and if they get a 0, they get 2 casitas, but they can't run more than 3 in a day.
There's one right here, and there's one in the back too. We'll heal in a couple of days though. This one was a pretty big one about a week and a half ago, but it's healed now. Just gotta take care of them.
So how did you feel about the run?
Tired, upset.
My name is Mary Powell, and I worked with New Horizons Ministries from March of 1991 to April of 1994.
Was there anything that you personally saw or knew was going on while you were staff that would be considered physical abuse?
I didn't see it, but I heard it. Especially like in the QR.
The QR is forbidden to talk about. You are not allowed to talk about why you were there. That's not something I've never heard. I mean, I wasn't even told not to say that, but it's just one of those things that you don't say. You're in the room by yourself. You get a mattress that's about that thick, and as thick as, and a pillow and a blanket.
You'd hear there'd be 4 or 5 big guys, staff members in there with a kid. And there's just all like, you just knew that the kid was being tossed around and slammed against. And this is after, you know, a kid has probably been in there for days, you know, with not like a sheet, you know, to cover up with, depending on how insubordinate they were.
I would say to you that we all have our perceptions. I would tell you that we are not a perfect organization, and we definitely make mistakes. there are things that have happened here and that will happen here in the future that shouldn't happen.
Has there ever been anything here that has taken place that we wish we could change? I would have to honestly state that there has been things that have taken place.
I wanted to know that he was safe, but something in my spirit knew that he wasn't safe and he wasn't in a good place.
The pieces started to fall together, and finally there was communication that confirmed that he was actually had been taken out of the country.
One of my son's friends came back from the school. He had been in the school and said he had seen David down there.
So we started by, yes, researching the school and trying to find out what the school was about. And we started to form plans on how we could possibly get in touch with David.
We had weekly meetings with a group of us trying to figure out what we could do.
We really wanted to get him home for graduation.
Do you get back on second?
Yeah, I'll be on second again, so I'll be able to talk to everybody. But then again, I made fairly bad points yesterday, so I'll probably go on first to point probation by next Sunday.
You guys still didn't hustle for you, still not following her directions, still not listening to her. That's not okay. That's not okay when we're back at the house. That's not okay now. Do you guys understand? Yes. Okay, so you guys, you give me 10 squat thrusts, begin and recover.
Yes, sir. 1, 2.
I think it's funny because if any of my friends were here and they would see like these people just rolling in the mud, they would probably cry with me right now because this is like the most excruciating, gross, nastiest thing. Do you know what's in this dirt? There's like cow poop, horse poop, all kinds of poop. And then people put it on their face. It's nasty. At this point, I hate my life.
I wish to tackle time!
And like I always had like aspirations of going to college and stuff, and like my parents just were never like, I don't know, honestly like I don't think they knew how to confront and stuff, because like they're telling me like Mr. Seabrook that I have all these problems that like I didn't even think I had, like with anxiety. Like I never really thought of myself as having an anxiety problem.
Back at home, like did you feel stressed out or like you had too much on your plate?
I'm just like, God, why did like you let this happen to me? Like my birthday will be 5 months exactly for me. I'll be 18 by then.
Yeah, turning 18 here is not all that much fun.
I know.
Looking good. Okay, this one you can be silly. 3.
You know, parts of Pico were like back home in Colorado in the mountains, and I used to do a lot of hiking with my dad and like four-wheeling with my dad in the mountains, and it really like, you know, kind of brought me to the realization that like, you know, my dad isn't here and I'm not gonna see him for a while. And like, I don't know, him and I used to have a really good relationship, and I guess like it just made me realize like, you know, how bad our relationship was and stuff. So unfortunately the people that I really got to know are gonna leave in like 15 days in August, either going to Marion or going all the way back home. So I'm just kind of stuck here.
This morning we have a lot of people here with a lot of different things on their minds. You know, we got to recognize that we have great opportunity once again, as we're gathered together, to see what God's about in our lives. How is He going to transform and change who you are? Are you willing to submit to God as your master? Follow me.
This is gonna sound kind of shady, but I kind of wrote like a letter. I was just like, oh, if only I could give this like Kate to give to Angie or something. but it's so crazy that she goes to
And she's going to
Viola.
Yeah, because we'll definitely meet her and hopefully do an
You'll love her to death.
Yeah.
You'll love her to death. She's one of the funniest people you'll ever meet. So, yeah.
What's up with this place?
We got inspected.
What usually happens during inspection is Mr. Anderson, the home life director, comes by and he basically checks the house to see how clean it is. If he finds busts, he usually starts throwing stuff as what's happened in the room. I got a couple shirts thrown and surprisingly my PA is not too bad. So yeah, now we're all just in here to basically put everything away and fix all of our busts that we had, so.
I have a letter inside my phone. Okay, later. I don't know when I can get it to you. We can get that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the line.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for keeping you.
Yep.
Is jumping almost done?
Yeah, there's still like a few things left.
Fantastic.
May I step in? May I step in? Patience is a virtue. So it's something that I'm developing.
Beth, touch your hips.
Pardon?
Touch your hips.
Right now?
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah.
May I begin?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like one chicken soup, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5.
I asked that you bless this food to our bodies as well as the hands for prayer. Your name and prayer. Amen.
One, 2, 3, Mary, recover.
Yeah, like through my letters, like I kind of feeling that like my parents are totally like hiding this, that they're hiding the fact that like I'm here because of this. Like I think they're telling me that like, oh, like he's studying in the Dominican Republic, like like cool, you know.
Yeah.
Which isn't entirely true. I mean, like, yeah, it is that, but it's a lot more than that.
I think that it might be helpful. Yeah, okay, these are things that bother you and these are things that concern you, but at some point I think it's important to step back and go, why do these bother me so much?
I also feel like my parents like sent me here to like hide me, just like from like being embarrassed.
So enjoy hiding for a little while.
I don't trust my parents. Like, why should I trust like them sending me to this program? So like, why should I trust this program? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm really trying to like find trust in that because I want my parents back, like really bad. So I don't know, just like I'm trying my hardest, just like trust in the program and stuff, and like every day, like I'm just like choose like I wish I could talk to my parents.
I think there's value in taking time out. We need discipline, we need guidance, we need that black and white expression, I think. We need that. And one thing I'm gonna try to do more is be more black and white, because I think that does help increase security and alleviate anxiety. I think that's a plus.
Yeah.
We have plenty of time to get relational and all that garbage.
back home, I had last semester a 4.3 GPA. I mean, I had everything going for me. I was trying to get theater scholarships, and I can't have that anymore. I was trying to get an international baccalaureate diploma. That's gone. Basically, everything that I've been working for 3 years in high school is gone. So I'm facing a lot of disappointment. I honestly think there's got to be some kind of law against holding you here past the age of 18, because although we are in the Dominican Republic, this is a U.S. establishment. I am a U.S. citizen. I should be free by my 18th birthday, but no. Right now, like, I just feel so open, but like, it's so hard because I feel like I'm being forced into a ball, and psychologically it's not going to be good for me. I feel like I am going to need some major counseling once I get out of here. I feel like I'm going to lose my mind here. I feel like I'm going to, like, I'm just going to crack, and I'm just not going to be able to go any further. And it's just so, like, it's so hard for me. Like, I mean, so many things run through my mind. I don't sleep. I mean, like, right now, I'm just thinking of, like, every little way of getting out of here, but then again, I'm just like, God, you put me here. I'm trying to trust you. So.
You leave Monday morning? Yeah. Are you serious? It's true. That's so sad. Who am I gonna run away from my house breaks to? I don't know. That's so sad.
If you could say something to your closest friend, what would it be?
To my closest friend, okay, Angie, I had a lot of fun with you the day before I left, going to all the graduation parties with you, and it really meant a lot to me. And just thanks for all the good times and the trips down to Denver. I mean, like, this is probably, last year's probably the best year of my life with her, so that's about it.
Angie, this may come off as a shock to you, but our worst fears have come true. I'm currently in the Dominican Republic at a school called Escuela Caribe in Jarabacoa. I don't know why I alarm you. I don't want to alarm you, so I will try to lighten things up. Rusty, your Willard, needs rescuing. If this letter is seen by staff here, I will receive a due penalty, including SWATs.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Like, one of the punishments they do there sometimes is SWATs, which is basically like getting a spanking with like a wooden paddle or a leather strap.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm entrusting Kate with this to get to you safely. I need a lot of help, so please, 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 if you can, get me home. They want to hold me here for over a year. I've been here for about a month and a half, and I've already begun to lose my mind. I beg you to please let your mom know and use all the power you and your mom and your dad and your sister can to free me. Angie, please pray for me for strength. And please bring me home, Mom.
The letter came, and that was real powerful for me. That was when I decided that, you know, if we're sending people down there, I'm going to be one of them that goes down there.
You know, the planning was probably a really good thing to have to occupy the time. I mean, that he wasn't 18 yet, because it let us plan some more. So I think looking into the school, trying to make contact with the school, trying to understand who they were and how they held students, what they did.
Money was raised and put together for 2 members of the group to actually go down to the Dominican Republic.
we recognized we were probably going to get one shot at going onto the campus and demanding his release. And so there were times spent for the couple days in advance trying to be sure everything was lined up as best we could.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Mark. This is Doug Lyons. We're at the base of the hill here, so I guess if you want to call David and tell him we're coming.
We arrived at the school. Doug and I went onto the campus and were allowed on and were brought to an office to sit down and meet with school personnel, and we presented what we were there for.
Then we presented the letter and said, we want David out of here.
Game's over. It's done. He's 18. He's gonna come home.
And this guy we were talking to, his whole demeanor changed. He started sweating bullets. I mean, he had perspiration all over his forehead instantaneously.
And from there you could tell that a lot of activity was going on in other parts of the office. People were concerned. There were phone calls being made. We were told that he wasn't there and that we wouldn't be able to see him.
And they were trying to push us out, and Mark was being way more persistent than I was about staying there.
It became clear after a while that we were not going to leave the campus with him, that we weren't going to be granted the access no matter what we had tried, and that we were going to be asked to leave. There was work done to get a judge to issue an order that said David had to appear in the United States.
Because the embassy wouldn't force Escuela Caribe to release David, we had a U.S. judge issue a writ of habeas corpus, which is designed to free those who are unlawfully detained.
It was December, because I remember there was snow on the ground, and my phone rang at 2 in the morning maybe. And I answered it, and it was a whisper with my name. I'm like, hello? Ugh. And hearing his voice was like the best thing ever. And I remember just screaming, like darting into my mom's room, like bawling my eyes out, telling her that it was him. And when we were on the phone, we decided to meet at Starbucks the next morning.
So Angie just got a call from one of David's friends that he's in the Starbucks. I don't know why he didn't call Angie, but I think he might be in here. What's going on? Can we not? Are you sure we can? Sorry.
What are you guys doing here? I'm not sure if I can even talk to you guys.
I think I just want to go home. He didn't call, and when I found him, he didn't want to talk. I really hope that he's been fed a lot of lies, and I really hope that he has no idea how much everybody has been stressing over this and praying over this and losing sleep over this and spending so much time on this. I've never been this devastated before. It's like I'm heartbroken, but I'm mad, and I'm devastated, but I don't know, I'm furious. I just. Come on in, guys.
I think about the Dominican all the time. I talk about it probably at least maybe once a week. My coworkers all know about it, my friends all know about it, my family all know about it. I was there 17 months to the day.
Did you graduate down there?
Yes, I graduated high school down there.
When I first got back, it was definitely awkward for me. I had lost a lot of friends. A lot of people didn't really remember me, didn't know where I'd gone or why, and I didn't really want to talk about it. I didn't want to say where I went or explain what I'd been through because people wouldn't understand. Probably one of the worst things down there was the QR. I'm definitely claustrophobic, and so being in a 5x10 room with the doors locked was definitely very frightening. Granted, I wasn't in there all day. A lot of the days, I was either outside scrubbing walls or doing manual work, but that was probably the worst part of my experience. I still get nightmares. I still get nightmares about weeks of PICO and, about getting SWATs and about, having to run casitas until I was coughing blood. So I get nightmares about that. I do still think about those things. You can't really forget those things. Now, when I think about the Dominican, I don't think about the negative. I mean, I might think about all the SWATs that I got because I got a lot. I don't think about necessarily all of the push-ups. I got a lot. I think of all the positive stuff. Sometimes I think of the negative stuff, but it's a part of me, it's part of my experience. I am angry. I am angry at a lot of the staff members who watched things happen to not only me, but other students and not do anything about it and think that it's okay. A lot of it was just so broken and not wanting to be in pain anymore and to have to deal with the punishments. I do miss it. I miss the structure. I like structure. They didn't just walk up to me and pick me out of a crowd and say, bend over, I'm giving you 10 SWATs for no reason. It was because I messed up. The whole focus there, the whole brainwashing and trying to conform and being forced to be somebody that you're not just because you're different. It's crazy how they would twist the words of the Bible just to make make what they were doing sound legit. Other students that went there, whether it was for drug or alcohol, they were already out doing what they wanted. They didn't care. They didn't want help. Whereas me, I wanted the treatment. I wanted the help. We just didn't know what else to do. I needed to do, and I wanted to do whatever I could to get out of there. So if that means saying that I'm born again or whatever they wanted me to do, then I'll do it. If that means I need to sing, then I'll do it. If that means I gotta, run this casita so many times or, take these paddles, I'll do it. As far as I'm concerned, Escuela Caribe is what saved my life. It definitely hurts me to hear people say negative things about that place because, like I said, it did save my life. But however, I don't know what happened behind closed doors. What got me through the whole situation was knowing that at the end of the day, what they were doing was not right. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't, not a day.
I'm really excited.
David, how you doing? Good, great seeing you. Sight for sore eyes right there.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Oh. Cheers, guys. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Things were okay, and I finished out my senior year at West.
Yeah, I know, that's cool.
Got to graduate from my high school. Like that was.
I know.
It was so nice.
That kind of thing, I just really am.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Good to see you! Hi!
For the 6 weeks before I came back, the school had prefaced me with the fact that, you know, this film is going to harm everything, and my dad said he hired a lawyer and was ready to, you know, fight everything that had happened. So
Yeah.
I don't remember what exactly I said. If it was like, I don't know if I can talk to you
Right.
now, because I was so nervous, surprised, and also just like, I don't know if I'm gonna get in legal trouble for this because of the action that my dad was ready to take.
It was so overwhelming, and I remember seeing the footage of you like being so upset afterwards, and I knew that like this wasn't right.
I just immediately got attacked with feelings of like, what did his parents tell him? Like, you know, and I just had all these thoughts of like, they told him like, Angie wants you to be here, you know, she's excited, she hates you. Like, I didn't know like what had been said, or if anyone else, or if the school was like, there's this girl and you know, you can't be friends with her ever again. And I was just like, at that moment, I was like, I'm losing like one of my best friends.
The love you guys had for me while I was there definitely helped me with all the feelings of rejection and hate from all the staff, even though they called it this other type of love, which is sick.
Ridiculous.
It kept me going.
Like when you think about it and you think about like all the things that you've gone through and then like where you are now.
I just really also want to have something for other kids that have been institutionalized in a similar program anywhere. I've recently learned that there are thousands, hundreds if not thousands of programs like this that are forcing kids to conform and breaking down their mindset, and they're just kids.
I'm just so proud of you. I know that God is so proud of you.
Thank you.
I just love you so much.
I love you too.
In order to improve the standard of care in this industry, it's important to consistently shed light on the urgent need for reform. Community events are instrumental in that effort. Hopefully, with continued advocacy and increased public awareness, all residential programs will be free of abusive practices. Parents will be empowered to make safe choices for their children, and children will receive the services they need to be healthy. Sincerely, Congressman George Miller, Senior Democrat, California. I say this just to let you know that while I can never understand what you've been through, because I've never been in these centers, I do know what it's like to be afraid.
There's no way that you can count them because there's no government regulation.
I mean, this kind of thing I knew went on in North Korea. I knew it went on in the former Soviet Union. I was shocked to see that right here in the United States of America, good old American kids who've done nothing wrong are getting tortured, sexually abused, and a lot of times, unfortunately, because their parents are tricked into sending these kids to these places.
It's been 5.5 years, and I'm just, coming to my parents about this and telling them that I feel like it wasn't okay that I got sent away. It took me that long, and this is just the beginning to this healing process in understanding. And it's gonna take a while.
Do I call myself a Christian? No, because today being a Christian means so many different things.
So what do you believe in now?
What do I believe in now? I believe in love.
They were living in hell. What we were doing was wrong. It did not help them. And we need to answer for that. Somebody's got to answer for that.
I'm on a new road, carrying this heavy load. I look around, but I cannot see. How did I get here? Who'll stand beside me? How can I heal when I don't believe? How do I find my way home when I feel so alone? To break the hold of hurt and pain, how do I find my way home? Walk in the distance through blinding darkness. How do I find the way back to me? How do I heal these feelings I carry? Who'll give me hope when I wanna scream? How do I find my way home when I feel so alone? Find peace and love and strength and joy.